Hello, everyone. I'm used to giving presentations in person, so the silence on the phone is quite terrifying. Um, we're doing online advertising. I'm going to be doing online advertising today, which I hope you all plan to come to. So what's one U? Hashtag one U. It's the hashtag for anything union related on Twitter. I use this hashtag a lot when I tweet. So does the AFT. I run the AFT's social media. So about me, your presenter, me. This is me. I'm Asher Huey, at Asher Huey on Twitter. I'm from the American Federation of Teachers, and you can see here is me as a child. I was born in the 80s. I wore awesome outfits as a child. I still wear cardigans to this day, though my cardigans are not as exciting as this one. I kind of wish I still had that one, but I'd probably be a little too big for it. So today I became an activist. My story of self, where I came from, how I got here. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and I have a Tea Party father and a socialist atheist mother. And I ended up going sort of close to the direction of my mother, and I became an activist in Los Angeles and eventually moved to D.C. I work for the American Federation of Teachers, where I run the social media and a lot of the online strategic campaigns. I also, on the side, founded and for several years ran the D.C. Food Truck Association. I organized the food trucks because the city was going to ban them a few years ago, and so that is my side project. There in a truck, yeah, shirt. So agenda, we're going to go through a case study, a basic ads intro. I know that this is listed as an advanced class course. I'm going to do some basic, some intermediate, some advanced. So hopefully there'll be enough for everyone. But I want to make sure. I think it's always important to make sure that the people are on the same page when we go through. Case study, basic ad intro, Facebook ads, Google ads, Twitter ads, retargeting. Thinking about ads as an organizer. My background is as an organizer before I started doing anything digital, so I really think it's important. For me, all of my online work, I approach it as with sort of the mindset of an organizer. How to not get fleeced if you are hiring a consultant. I really apologize. I feel like I'm stuttering and saying a lot, but you've probably, if you've been coming to these sessions, you've probably heard that a lot. So we're going to start with case study, Dump Trump. When the president released his birth certificate, I was very angry. I was very mad at Donald Trump, and I needed something to do, so I opened a Twitter account because that is what I do. And the Twitter account was really popular. We got thousands and tens of thousands of followers literally overnight. People were angry and they wanted somewhere to direct their anger. Why is this doing that? What do you digital things about? I don't know. Anyway, I opened a Twitter account. It was very popular. We ended up getting Groupon to pull all of their ads from The Apprentice. And then McDonald's told us privately that they were going to pull all of their ads, and also got Trump out of the he was going to NASCAR pace car thing, then we started going after Pepsi, and there were several other organizations that were also a part of this, but everyone started going after Pepsi. Trying to get Pepsi to pull their ads from The Apprentice, and Pepsi was not responding. Pepsi was not responding to thousands of people that were tweeting at them. They were very active online, calling out Pepsi. We were emailing them. We were tweeting out the email address of the CEO, saying email the CEO, and they were just not responding. So I thought, why not run some ads? So where did I decide to run them? I decided to run them on Facebook. Who was I going to target? How was I going to do it? I found that there were 5,000 Pepsi employees on Facebook. And why? I wanted to pressure the upper management to take action. My thought was, if I run these ads targeting Pepsi employees, a secretary on her lunch break will see it and probably say something to her boss. So what were my ads? Pepsi ignores customers. Why is Pepsi ignoring thousands of customers who are asking the company to reject racism by blocking ads from The Apprentice? And thousands of customers are calling on Pepsi to stop running ads from The Apprentice. Pepsi should stop supporting racism. And I ran these ads, and remember, I was targeting 5,000 people, 125,000 impressions. That means that the ad appeared on somebody's Facebook page, on their screen, on their computer, in total 125,000 times. My CPM, my cost per 1,000 impressions, was 27 cents. In the end, I spent $33.56 to get Pepsi to respond. There was only one episode left in the season, and they released a statement that they were going to not run ads as they revisit their ad policy and stuff. But it was a victory. We got them to respond. It was $33.56 that I spent out of pocket because I was angry. And if I can do this to Pepsi, all of our organizations can certainly do this. So some basics, some things that you need to know as we begin. You're going to hear me refer to a lot of these things. Now, I want to remind you that this will be available online, so you don't have to take, very, very copious notes. Your CPC, cost per click, you're going to hear me refer to that, and that means how much you pay per click. Or CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. So for each time, for each 1,000 times it appears on someone's screen, you pay. These are the two ways that you pay for ads. You're either going to pay each time somebody clicks on the ad, or you're going to pay for it to appear 1,000 times on a computer. Now, if you're paying for it to CPM, per cost per 1,000 impressions, you aren't guaranteeing that the person interacts with it or looks at it. You just want to make sure that it appears. I ran those Trump ads, a cost per 1,000 impressions at CPM, because I wanted them to appear on their screens as many times as possible. I wanted them every time they went on Facebook to see it. But if your goal is something like converting people to your email list, and you don't want to, you probably want to pay per click, because you only want to pay when somebody's going to click through and might actually take the action. So there are different reasons that you would run them that way. Your CTR is your click-through rate. You want to know the rate at which people are clicking through when they see your ad. What's your cost per acquisition? That's a really important metric, especially if you are list building, if you're driving people to a petition or something like that. Are you paying, $1 per new email address, or are you paying $10 per new email address? If you're paying a lot of money, if you've spent $100 and you've only converted one person to your email list, then something is wrong, and you're wasting money by continuing these ads. And whether that's the landing page, whether that's the messaging, who knows, but if your cost per acquisition is too high, you need to revisit what you're doing. And targeting. I'm going to talk a lot about targeting over the next hour, how you decide who sees your ad. So when I say they're targeting this person, it's how they've decided. They have said, I want these type of people. I want gay men. I want Hispanic women. I want people who like Star Trek. Is what targeting is. So where do we run ads? Google and Facebook are what I'm going to talk about the most, and Twitter. I'm talking quite a bit about Twitter. Blogs. A lot of blogs will have ads in the Google network, or if there's a blog that you like, you can always just call them and say, I want to run ads on your site. They really appreciate that. Also, Yahoo. Yahoo still exists. I don't use it, but it's out there. I'm sure if you want to target seniors, you could run ads on Yahoo. I'll move on. Facebook ads. So Facebook ads, you target people based on self-selected identification. We all use Facebook. Well, I assume most of us use Facebook. But when we use Facebook, we don't think of it as a way to advertise to us. I go on Facebook, and I have liked every Star Trek thing there is, because I love Star Trek. I also like Harry Potter. I like, Harry Potter. I like all of the books on Facebook. I also, I post about public education. I like a bunch of different public education pages. I like a bunch of labor pages. All of these are categories that I am put in because of my actions on Facebook that allows people to advertise to me. So when people are advertising to Star Trek fans, they know that they're Star Trek fans because you don't go in and like Star Trek on Facebook unless you actually like Star Trek. Same thing with unions. Same thing with most things. Every once in a while you get somebody who likes the politician, but they don't actually like the politician just to see what they're doing. But that's a very small percentage of people, and they're usually just people here in D.C. So you have the sidebar ads on Facebook. You've been seeing these for years. They're all off to the side. They're tailored to your interests usually. You have an external URL, 90 characters plus one image, or you can actually run drive people to your page there too. And these are good. For a long time, these are what Facebook offered, only what they offered, and these were what the Dump Trump ads were. Sponsored content. You can now, for the last, I think, year and a half ago, they rolled it out. You can in your news feed, you're now seeing ads. You can run your content from your organization or from the fan page, the Facebook page that you manage. You can run that based on these different targeting categories. You can promote posts, so just the post appears. You can do social targeting, so that friends of your page, friends of people who like your page rather, see it. Post engagement, so if somebody likes a specific post, their friends see that they liked the post, which really drives up sort of the engagement on that page. They're actually really effective. So you can see here, these are what the sidebar ads look like. This is actually a little bit older. They limited the number of characters you can have to 90, so these are a little bit older, but I really like these ads, which is why I keep using them. American Airlines Rainbow Team. Join the American Airlines Rainbow Team page, the first and only airline to score 100% on HRC's Corporate Equality Index every year, driving you to like the page. So you can see here on the ad, they're driving to like the page, 12,000 people like the page, American Airlines Rainbow Team. So why am I seeing this ad? I wonder why they're advertising to me. Oh, because I'm gay. I'm outing myself right now. I see this ad because they are targeting men who like men on Facebook. Moving over to the side, Sing It Out Loud. For free here, over 75 of your favorite anthems with the new sound of gay. Pride, featuring Robin, Madonna, and they're targeting, again, gays. I see a lot of gay ads, actually. It's wonderful. Barcode. You can tell this is old because Barcode is not new anymore. But DC's newest restaurant, bar, and lounge. It's actually right next door to AskMe. I don't really go there, but they're promoting it socially. You can see down here it says, Rachel likes this, and so it's prompting me to like the page. And the thought is, people tend to be friends with people who have similar interests, who like the same types of things. Yeah, we're all friends with, the crazy relative, but for the most part, our friends agree with us. So when you run these ads socially, you can assume that you're hitting people who are like your fans. Below that, work behind the scenes. I said I'm from Los Angeles. I actually have a degree in theater. So work behind the scenes. They're targeting people to get a master's degree in theater production. And people, if you can't imagine why they're targeting me. You can see this is what the ads look like when they're in your news feed. So you can see here, this is me. I've just taken a screen grab. I'm looking at my news feed, and the first thing that I see here is not always the first thing you see, but you can see below it, it says sponsored. It's asking you to like the page a politician. It's a Texas politician who's running for state rep. It's because my friend Katie and Alex both like this page. So it's running socially, prompting friends of its fans, of the page's fans, to like the page. Over here, you see the insurance. An LGBT promotion and targeting men who like men, probably also women who like women.
I'm going to just take one time out for a second. I want to show people, I just want to make sure everybody can see the full presentation. So let me go back to the tool for a second. There's a couple things you can do. You can slide your this little column to the right by simply grabbing on it. And another thing you can do is you can go up here to the whiteboard screen and click on it and then choose full screen with toolbar. If you do it with the toolbar, you'll still be able to raise your hand. So my suggestion would be to use it. And if you can't see his entire presentation, you can also scroll back and forth. I just noticed that there was a little bit missing in it, so I just wanted to make sure that you can see it all. So again, you can move this column to the right, but the best thing to do would be to go up to the top, click on the whiteboard button at the top of your screen, and choose with the toolbar. Either one works, but toolbar is better. Okay, so I'll let Asher take that over. Thank you.
Okay, I hope that this is good for everyone so far. Slide. Here we go. So, so this is what the ads look like when they are in someone's newsfeed. It's very easy for you to run these ads from the content that you're promoting from your organization, from your union. Now, when you post something to Facebook, it gives you this option right here. It makes it really easy for you. It says, would you like more people to see this? And it says, how much money would you like to spend? People who like your page, people who like your page and their friends. In theory, you want to expand it, not just to people who like your page, but you want to expand your reach, right? The targeting options on this are so limited that I would recommend never doing it this way. Even though they put this here and they say, promote your post like this, don't do it, because you can still promote your post through the ads manager, but the targeting options are so limited here that when I did it, it was showing my ad to people in Bahrain. I tried it once. I tried it for like $5, and I was very mad. I mean, $5 isn't much for me, but I mean, if I had done it for my organization rather than just I probably did it for my Star Trek fan page that I run. But hashtag reasons I'm single. It was $5 to advertise to people in Bahrain. So don't do it this way, even though they make it easy for you. When you are running your images, different graphics that you create for Facebook as an ad, you have to be careful. You can only have 20% of your image be taken up with text, and if it's more than 20%, it will shut the ad down. You can promote it for it'll run for about half an hour before they realize. You can see here at the top, this image is just taken from Facebook. You can see here at the top, they don't count the Red Bull logo on the can as words, but the middle image, Pop Cans, Not Quizzes, you can see how Pop Cans and Not Quizzes takes up 16% of the text, 4 boxes, versus below it, Born to Fly, and those words in that logo. I don't actually understand fully why they don't consider the Red Bull logo versus this logo text, but that's 32%, so they will not allow that to run. The 20% rule on Facebook for images also applies to like your cover photo and things like that. But there's actually really, if you just Google, 20% Facebook images, it'll come up, and you can. They actually have a tool where you can upload the photo and see it automatically looks, and it'll say this image is okay to run as an ad, this image isn't. So this is probably a conversation you're going to want to have with whomever is designing your, if you want to run them as an ad. So some Facebook best practices. Just know that sponsored posts have higher engagement. Because people are seeing it, it's relatively new, and people are seeing it organically in their feeds where they expect things to be posted from their friends. People engage with it a lot more, especially when it's a social ad and they see their friend's name attached to it. This has happened to me. I've had, I like different pages. I like a lot of gay rights pages, and so my boss is suddenly seeing, a sponsored post about equality and vodka, but that's because, and my name is attached to it. It's not because I posted it, it's because they're running it as an ad, and so they just have a much higher engagement. Facebook Ads Manager, you can do that really easily. ads.facebook.com. It's very simple to run your ads that way, and you have a lot more of the targeting options. I really recommend doing it that way. And you can actually, one of the really exciting things is that you can match your email list or your membership list to Facebook so that you can run ads just to those people. It's pretty simple to do, and there's really no reason that you shouldn't be doing that, because it allows you to really target it. If you have the email addresses of your members in your database, you can match it. Facebook doesn't like stealing your data. You can match it and then run ads just to them, which is really awesome. I think that has a lot of potential for contract negotiations or for GOTV, a lot of different things. So Google Ads. We're going to move on to Google Ads from Facebook Ads. I know that we're moving kind of fast. I hope that I'm not speaking too fast for everyone. I just want to make sure that we are able to get through everything. And I see that a couple of people are asking questions. I'm going to answer the questions at the end just to make sure that we get through everything. So Google Ads. You can target based on search terms or keywords, user demographics, or topics. That means that if you can search based on you can target ads based on a keyword. So if you're searching for things like Star Trek, you can run ads to people about that. User demographics, so you can say, I want people who are interested in this, or people of a certain age. And topics, you can say, I want my ads to run on pages about this topic, things like that, or sites that deal with these issues. Your ads must lead to a website or a page, so you have to make sure that you know where you're leading people before you can run them. And this could be any location that you choose, whether it's a news article that you want to promote or your petition. You can run ads to these places. And the types of Google ads there are, you have the text ads. So that's what happens when you search. So if you search for AFL-CIO and AFL were running an ad, you would see it based on that, because they would be serving people who are searching for that. Or contextual, like if you ever notice when you're in Gmail or, well, I'm assuming most people on the thing use Gmail, suddenly there's an ad and it's relevant to what the conversation is about. They're not spying on you. It's just recognizing that the keywords in your email are the keywords that the advertiser is bidding on. The advertiser doesn't know who you are. Banner ads, those are the different ads that you see around the internet that are on random websites, and they're art. So you see someone's face smiling, red button, click here. You can do that based on sort of contextual targeting. You can do it based on demographics. That's also how remarketing, Google remarketing works. I'm going to talk about retargeting later. So display ads, you can see here, this is oxygen.com. This is what a display ad is like. I'm not actually 100% sure that these are run through Google, but they probably run through some sort of larger ad buyer or something. But this is how you would run a Google ad. You would say, you can see here the Charmin at the top and the visitflorida.com. These are what display ads look like. And why are they targeting Oxygen.com with these ads? Well, Oxygen.com is a site that targets women. And Charmin is something that you purchase at the store, and their information, their user information will show that women are more likely to do the household shopping. Also, a Florida vacation. My guess is they're targeting, I took the screen grab in the middle of the day, they're probably targeting at home. So this is how the targeting works, and this is how the ads look. And you see these types of ads all over the internet. Here, Primer, which is a site that targets it's a blog targeting young men on how to be fashionable and professional just after college. You can see a guy's post-college guide to growing up. And what are they advertising? Right here on the side, you see this orange wallet going into a man's pocket by a slim design to reduce pocket bulk, right? Targeting men who want to be a little more professional. You can see here, this is a Google ad. You can see the Google Plus at the bottom too. And then up here, what are they advertising? Watch movies online, right? So, and what movies do they have? Good Wife, The Shield, Justified, right? So, you can see the difference in the ads that they're showing. Here, back on Oxygen, if you were seeing ads for buy the sleek new wallet or watch these TV shows online, it would probably be targeting, right? You wouldn't be hitting the audience that you want. And if you were running Florida vacation ads on this site, yeah, I would love to go on a Florida vacation, but if I just graduated from college, I probably can't afford it right now. This is what the search ads are like. So you can see here, I'm searching Terry McAuliffe. I live in Washington, D.C., and so when I search, it's recognizing that I'm in the area, and so it's showing me ads for Terry McAuliffe. The first ad is for Terry McAuliffe. You can see the ads are right up here at the top. It says ads related to Terry McAuliffe, and the ads appear in this beige section. So Terry McAuliffe. Then the second ad is the truth about Terry. So this is actually an attack ad. The first thing I see is his official site. That's going to be the thing that is going to get the most clicks. And the reason that that ad appears above the attack ad is because the campaign is willing to pay more per click. They're paying more per click. Their cost per click is higher than the attack site. Now the attack one is still there, so you could you click at it if it catches your attention. Now, when I go and I search for his Republican opponent, I don't see any ads, which I think is a mistake on both parts. If I were the Cuccinelli campaign, I would want to make sure that if somebody searches my name, they don't see something about sort of his people. I would want them to see, you know, if I were his campaign, I would want them to see my economic platform. But if I were Terry McAuliffe's campaign or some other organization, I would want an ad up here highlighting some of the crazy stuff that he has done in the past. So you can see here the search versus display network. Here, this is just a screen grab of stuff that I did for my mom when my mom's a writer-director, her film was out. I bid on and created some search ads based on the lead actors' names, my mother's name, the name of the film, different things, in case somebody saw it in the paper, heard about it through word of mouth. There were a couple of radio things about it. It was just released in it was only released in Los Angeles. And you can see here the search. There were over 4,000, almost 5,000 searches and impressions. That means that many people searched and it appeared. 50 of those people who searched for it clicked on it, which is a click-through rate of, remember I said CTR, click-through rate, 1.06. That's actually a really good click-through rate. It cost me $1.05 per click. And it took them to the page where they saw the showtimes and could order tickets. So you can see here, search versus search partners. This shows you, like, people are actually looking for the information, who are looking for the information, searching for information about the film, or searching for information about the actors. They're much more likely to click on it, versus the displaying network. So YouTube is a part of Google, and when you run video ads, I'm not going to talk much about video ads, but when you run your video ads on the, it's considered part of the display network, I ran them as TrueView ads, so they played before somebody else to watch. And very different click-through rates. This is actually pretty good. There were also banner ads that I ran. That's right, I did run banner ads as well. I forgot about that. I made these banner ads. So why is this so much lower? Why is the click-through rate so much lower? Because these people are searching for information, right? They wanted to know about the film. These people, I thought you might be interested in the film, so I'm going to present you the information. These ads are totally valid to run, even though the click-through rate is lower, because they didn't know otherwise. They wouldn't have known otherwise about the film. So you can see the difference here. It's pretty interesting. So Google now has these ad extensions that are pretty cool. You can see up here, wine.com, I love wine. There are all of these little extensions at the bottom. Free shipping for 1 year, champagne and sparkling wine, great Italian wine, 94 plus rated wines. These are extensions. You can have these leading you to specific pages. So this is the main page at the top, right? And if you are searching and you see, oh yeah, I wanted Italian wine, that's what I'm searching for, you can click on that. But you can see below here, Stand for Children. Stand for Children is an anti-union, anti-public education group. They were promoting the Republican nominee in Washington State this last year. They tried to help Republicans gain control of the state house in Colorado. They paid Change.org to run an anti-teachers union campaign in Chicago during the strike, and they helped pass the voucher bill in Louisiana. Like, they're a right-wing group. But you can see that they've got an ad. When you search Stand for Children, this ad appears the first thing, and they have this extension, this email extension, which I think is pretty cool. It costs the same for you to subscribe to their newsletter as it does for you to click through, and it comes when you search pre-filled with your email address. Because I'm logged in I was searching in Chrome and I'm logged in. But you can see below there are also all of these extensions. Now there's some other really cool extensions. They've got like a call extension, so if you're on a mobile device and you're searching for something, you can set up a call extension, so you just press call and it calls automatically. You can set up different extensions through Maps, a lot of different things. So it's really interesting, the things that they're laying out. A lot of this isn't self-service, so you can't do it through your own Google Ads Manager. You have to contact your account rep. You can have your own account rep for free with Google who helps you with things. I've had my account rep for several years now, and we work really well together. Some best practices. When you're building out your search ads, make sure that you bid on multiple keywords. Don't just do the name of your organization or the name of the candidate you are supporting or opposing. Do variations on it. If it's, a candidate, spell the name different ways, because people will mistype things. Do information. So if I were to run ads general search ads around the AFT, I wouldn't just do AFT. I'd also do teachers union, and I'd do education union, educators union, association for educators, things like that. And I want to think broadly about what people would be searching for if I had information for them. Don't ad placements, because you don't want to be running your ads on sites where people are going to be hostile. You're never going to hit the right target demographic. If you're running a social justice campaign, you want to target religious people who care about social justice. You can't just target religious sites, because half of them are going to be, right-wing evangelical sites, and the other half are going to be real, social justice sites. So you've got to make sure that you know that you're running them at the right place. Also know your schedule. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people. I was a consultant before I was at the AFT. I can't tell you how many times I saw people run their ads after their campaign was over. Any type of campaign, they lost the vote, they lost the election, they didn't achieve their legislative priorities, whatever it was, and they're still running ads afterwards. Or sometimes they do win, and they still are running ads afterwards because they forgot to shut them off. So know what the schedule is. That's really important. I hope I'm not talking too fast for everyone. Okay, checking the time. So retargeting. Why am I seeing Wendy Davis's shoes on Food Truck Fiesta, which is how I check to see which food trucks are nearby? Well, I went to Amazon, and directly after the filibuster, where Wendy Davis gained fame, and because people were writing hilarious reviews of the shoes she wore. And so I went to read them. What they did, what Amazon does, is they drop a cookie on your computer. You don't know that they drop this cookie on your computer, but they are able to run an ad to you wherever you go. So this ad followed me around for a while. This is called retargeting. It's very easy to do with your website, with any of your campaign websites, with any of your any petition that you could put up. You can even put it in your emails. You can have retargeting and run these ads to people wherever they are, which I think is pretty amazing. You can see here, Push Digital. So these are ads from Push Digital. I went to their site. They're actually a conservative. They're a conservative consulting firm, and I went to their site because they were running some campaign last week. They were working on something, and I just wanted to see who they were. And so I went to their site, and these ads have been following me around the internet. It appears you've been to Push Digital's website. Find out how we knew. I actually think these are really good ads. Assuming I'm some sort of campaign or some organization, and I was doing some research about who to hire, I would be like, oh wow, this is pretty impressive. And the truth is, I would want to know. I actually think this Facebook one is funny. We're not the NSA. It's hilarious. But you can see, I actually really like these ads. The red buttons get people to click them. So if you're running ads, if you're creating graphics like this, red button, outlining it in blue or red also tends to up your click-through rate. But this really makes you want to click on it. The one thing I don't like about this ad are his glasses behind the so Google has remarketing. Now there are different ways that you can do retargeting, but Google, because I do so much Google ads already, I think that it's really easy to use, and I just use the Google remarketing tools. Now there are other companies that allow you to build your own cookie pool, and there are plenty of consultants that will build cookie pools for you and do some really creative things. But I like to do as much as I can myself. As a former consultant, I don't like hiring consultants. Google remarketing is really easy to use. It runs across the Google network, which is like a lot of the internet. You won't always necessarily have the best placements, but you can do some really great things. You can create press lists is amazing. You include it in your press release. Um, it's not going to give you 100% of the press, but you can build out a press list. Then once you send out a press release later about a campaign, you can then run ads to them about that campaign. They'll think, oh, this is some big national thing, we better write about it. And you're just, targeting them and spending $100 making sure they see it. Activist lists, you can put this on all of your different petitions so you can know who's taking action. You can do issue-specific lists. So if you have a section of your website dedicated to, gay rights and the Employment and Non-Discrimination Act, and a section of your website dedicated to empowering women in the workplace, you can build lists for people because they've gone to seek out that specific information. So when you run ads, you can just run ads for people who care about Employment Non-Discrimination Act, or who care about the Employee Free Choice Act, or who care about amendment, something like that, which I think is great. Rolled out video remarketing, which I think is going to be really cool. So on your YouTube channel, you can run these remarketing ads. You can run ads to people who watch your videos, who take an action, which includes like a like or a comment on your videos, who viewed your video as a true view ad, which is cool. So if you run the ad, then you can say the people who saw this ad, you can build out a list of them, a target list, a remarketing list, so that you can advertise to them later. You can also do people who visit or subscribe just to your channel, your YouTube channel. They've also rolled out, and this is the one that's really interesting. So hopefully on all of our websites, everyone's put Google Analytics code. So that you can see how people are using your site, which pages they're going to, how long they're spending on certain pages. You can know if there's like a really high bounce rate on any page. Why are people leaving when they get to this one page? What scares them away? You can actually now create remarketing lists based on this. So you can be like, people who came and spent 10 minutes on our site, people who came and took all these actions, people who visited 10 pages but no less. You can build a marketing list based on all of that, which I think is just great. Oh my god, I'm going to have so much fun using that. I haven't had a chance to do it yet, but I love online ads so much. So when my Tea Party father decided to run for office, his ads, which is entirely too often, his ads always follow me around the internet. So you can see here, I'm just trying to happily read about Star Trek, and my dad, teabaggery, is right there on the page. And so this is an example of Google remarketing. You can see it is definitely Google Ads. It's showing you the Google Plus at the bottom, and so Twitter ads. We're going to talk a little bit about Twitter ads. You can promote a tweet on Twitter now. Twitter just recently rolled out the self-service system, so you used to have to sign a $5,000 insertion order or something like that. It was too much. We do it every once in a while. I personally have not always been happy with the targeting options on Twitter. It's getting a lot better, and I think it's going to continue to get better. But you can promote a tweet, and that's based on interest, followers, and likes followers. You can say, I want to promote this tweet to the followers of this specific person. People who follow Barack Obama can see your tweets. And you can also do it based on hashtag or keyword. So if I'm searching for hashtag 1U, I can see, when I search for it, I will see that there's an ad targeting that. You can also promote your account. So you can see people will see on the side of Twitter that they should follow this person. You can do that based on like followers or users, interest. You can also do that based on location, which is nice. You can also promote a trend. Don't do that. It just costs so much money. You have to contact Twitter in advance, hope that nobody else has bought it out. You can't, unless they've changed it, you can't just promote your trends in a certain area. It has to be worldwide and costs a lot of money, and I don't think that you get very much out of it. So you can see here I'm logged in as the AFT. I run the AFT social media. Off to the side, it's telling like Jonah Edelman. Jonah Edelman is the head of Stand for Children, the anti-union, anti-public education group that I talked about earlier. So he's probably targeting people either in the education category, which AFT would clearly fall under, or he's targeting like people like the Network for Public Education, which AFT is also. Network for Public Education, great group, founded by Diane Ravitch, love them. You can see Fuels America, followed by Occupy Corporations and Alan Rosenblatt, who are two people that the AFT follows. So they're probably promoting it based on like followers or people who follow their followers, something like that. And these are how the Twitter ads work. You can always see that yellow arrow, and that tells you it's promoted. You can see here I'm searching for Star Trek. Nobody has bought the Star Trek keywords. But you can see over here, this is being promoted to me. Probably has nothing to do with Star Trek. It's followed by Hootsuite. I follow Hootsuite, so I use Hootsuite. So it's just so sad that nobody's advertising based on Star Trek. It has to be one of the most searched things, right? So you can see here, this is an example of, I think, a Twitter ad done very, very well. So in Russia right now, there's this big controversy because of the anti-gay stances of the government, where you can be arrested, and there's a lot of things happening with young gay men being sort of kidnapped and tortured. So just a couple of days ago, people started talking about how they're going to boycott Russian vodka. Dump Russian vodka was a hashtag that was pretty popular for a couple of days. And Sky Vodka, this is what I thought was amazing. Sky Vodka saw what was happening, created this Cheers to Equality image, and bid on those keywords. So they ran these ads to those keywords. So I searched for hashtag dump Russian vodka. And they had selected that as a keyword to run this ad to, and it says hashtag Sky Vodka, American made and made for everyone, hashtag Cheers to Equality. And this image. That is an amazing way to build your brand reputation through Twitter by using hashtag, by using keyword targeting. That, I think, is just absolutely amazing. So what are the elements of a good ad? What makes it a good ad? You want to have a clear message. Define graphics if it is a graphic ad, if it's some sort of, if it's on a display network. You want to make sure that people understand what your ad is about. If people don't understand, or if people are tricked when they click through the ad, they're never going to take action. So if I see an ad and it is about, immigration reform, and I click through and it's about the environment, I'm probably not going to take that action because it's confused me. If I look at the ad and I don't know that it's about immigration reform, it's, I can't tell what it is, I'm not going to click on that ad. So you want to make sure that the message is really clear for everyone. Define targeting. You want to make sure that the right people are seeing your ad, and that it's cost effective because you don't want to waste money, and that it, in the end, furthers your campaign goals. I'm going to talk a little bit faster because I don't think we have that much time left. So I started as an organizer. So I think about ads as an organizing tool. They don't exist in a vacuum. They have to work with your narrative. They have to work with the goals of your campaign. And I'm all about, collecting as much data as you can so that you can, and this is me as an organizer, so that you can go back and contact those people again. So drive them to a page that allows you to capture your supporters. Get their email address if you can. At the very least, get them to like your Facebook page or get them with some sort of retargeting or remarketing code. So that you can reach out to them again. So some questions to ask. Why are we running this? What are our goals? Always have clear, defined goals, things that you want to get out of the ads. Who do we want to target? Because you don't want to target the entire world. You just want to make sure that the people who are interested in this topic, or who should be interested in this topic, are seeing the ad. Where do we want to run it? And that's actually two questions in one. Do we want it on Facebook? Do we want it on Google? Do we want to put it on some blog? Do we want it on Twitter? Or geographically, where do we want it? Do we want it in Los Angeles? Do we want it nationwide? Do we want it in the entire state of Nebraska? Is there any added benefit to running this ad? Are we actually going to get anything out of it? As a consultant, one of the reasons I'm not a consultant anymore is because I would actually ask clients and say, do you really think you're going to get anything out of this, or are you just trying to give me money? And I would talk them out of running ads if I didn't think that they were going to get anything out of it. And when do you want to run the ads? What time of day? What is your campaign schedule? You can run ads just during the day in certain areas, because you know people from your district go into the city during the day and then go back to the district at night. So you can run the ads during the day downtown where people are working, something like that. Can you run your ad in coordination with a major event or endorsement? This is an example of an ad. Creed Deeds was running third in the Democratic gubernatorial primary in Virginia 4 years ago, and he got the Washington Post endorsement, which was a big surprise for everyone. And he just flooded the internet with these ads. He did a Google bomb, and he literally everywhere you went, especially if you were a woman in Northern Virginia, you saw this. Vote tomorrow. The Washington Post endorsed only one Democrat, Creed Deeds, right? That is an incredibly clear ad. You know what this is about. You have to vote tomorrow, and the Washington Post endorsed only one Democrat. So if you didn't even know there was an election, you'd suddenly see this everywhere. Oh, tomorrow's the election? I better go vote. Who? Oh, Creed Deeds is the only one endorsed by the Washington Post. I don't think he would have won just with the endorsement. This ad, I really do believe, propelled him to victory, because everyone in Northern Virginia knew that there was only one Democrat endorsed by the Washington Post. So what are some reasons to run ads? You want to increase name ID for your organization or for a candidate. Respond to a crisis. That's a really good reason to run ads. Find supporters. If you want to find people in your area, in a certain area that care about an issue, build your email list. That's a very valid way to do it. You can run ads about petitions and things, and people sign up. Target a politician. You can target a politician to pressure them to do something. You can also target an organization or a company, which is what I did with Dump Trump. Persuasion, you can move people's opinions. And GOTV. GOTV is really great. Run an ad reminding people to vote, let them know where their polling place is. So here's an example of where, with the AFT, we responded to a crisis. I don't know if you heard, but last summer, the teachers in Chicago went on strike. It was a very big thing. It was a very large strike. And so what did we do? We bid on keywords in the Chicago area for people who were searching different ways. You can see this first one. Do you want to know why teachers are on strike? The list is here. It took them to a blog post. It didn't take them to like the CTU site. It took them to an independent validator with a list of why teachers are on strike. Why are they on strike? They need art classes. They need textbooks. They need to have teachers' aides. They need to make sure that there are actually nurses in the school. These were all the reasons, right? So if anybody searched, why are teachers on strike? Should I support the teachers' strike? Things like that. They were seeing that, or why are teachers striking? That's a long article explaining why. Then you can see down here how to help teachers. This was a different ad when people were searching, like, how can I help the teachers? How to show solidarity with teachers? Solidarity with teachers. All of those searches, they took them to the CTU because we already knew that they cared about this, right? So it gave them the opportunity to help, to donate money to the strike fund, things like that. You can see here are the keywords that people were doing. Chicago teacher strike, Chicago teacher strike, Chicago strike, teachers striking, teachers strike. So you can see all of these are different keywords that people actually search, which is why you don't just bid on one keyword, you bid on a lot. Moving on, and I'm sorry that I'm going so fast now. I just want to make sure that we get through it all. Don't get fleeced. If you use a consultant, if you're hiring a consultant to do your ads, You don't want to get fleeced. Do it yourself is the easiest way to make sure that you're not getting fleeced by a consultant. If you do decide to hire a consultant, insist on ad reports. Remember, you're the client. They should give you timely, regular ad reports. Request a list of the placements. Say, I want to know where you're going to be running these ads. Now, sometimes if you know it's retargeting or something like that, they're not going to be able to give you a list of placements. But if you're targeting based on people, based on sites that are about education, ask them, or unions or something like that, ask them for a list of placements so you can see where it's going to be. Check your conversion rates. You want to know that you're spending money and they're driving you to pages that you have a conversion on your email list or in some way. Because you want to make sure that your cost per acquisition is not too high. Yeah. So Michelle Bachman got fleeced. So this is an example of Michelle Bachman getting fleeced. I actually love this ad. I think this is an incredible ad. Michelle Bachman, I'm not a fan of hers. I'm not a fan of her politics personally, but I think that she's actually very pretty. I think that this ad really sort of shows, I think it plays well her femininity juxtaposed to the strong font. Bachman for president is very strong. I really like the lines of her jacket. I think that yellow is a really nice color. The color scheme is really nice. It's Bachman for president, a constitutional conservative in 2012. This is very clear. You know what this ad is about. And what does the big red button say? Join our team. You want to click on that button to join the team. So you know exactly what she's asking for. So why is she getting fleeced? See here, this ad running on a gay rights blog. So she probably had a consultant who was getting money either based on the clicks or the consultant was getting money based on how much was spent, whether they're running it CPM or cost per click. The consultant was getting paid to show the ads. So they were showing the ads everywhere. Everywhere that was probably talking about her name or something. And they were at the time posting about the anti-gay things she was saying. And so she, this was the waste of money for her campaign. Same thing right now with Kim Cuccinelli. I'm seeing these ads all over Facebook. There's no reason I should be seeing these ads. There's no reason that they should be targeting gay unionists, but they are. This is one that I really like. Search, this ad isn't running anymore, but search Michelle Rhee, what's the first thing that you see? Rhee under investigation. Rhee is under federal investigation for her role in a cheating scandal. You see that before you see her ad. Now, she's got the ad extension here asking for your email address. But the first thing, if you search for her name, what? She's under federal investigation for her role in a cheating scandal? I think that's pretty amazing. This one is really sad to me. I'll forgive the state senator for the really ugly ad. Yes, it's an ugly ad. It's very clear what you're doing. You want to re-elect him. I'll give you that. Click here for more info, right? But what was the problem? I live in D.C. I was on Daily Kos on election day, which means I couldn't vote for him. But the biggest problem is, so they were actually wasting money by serving me this ad, because even if I did live in Southern Virginia, I wasn't going to be able to get back down there to vote. But which one do you think is the correct spelling? It's the one at the bottom. They misspelled his name. Now, I'm not saying if they ran this ad, they would have won re-election, but the long-term state senator did lose re-election by something like 20 votes. And if they hadn't run this ad, this is an example of when you might not run an ad. If they hadn't run this ad to me, they might have had a little bit more money to pay one more field organizer to knock and drag people to the polls. Personalized gay romance novel, I see this every Valentine's Day. I think it's hilarious. This is an ad win. How are they targeting me? I don't actually like vampires, but they're targeting fans of Harry Potter. I love the Harry Potter books. Be creative. You really want to be creative in your ads. This is an example of a really creative ad campaign. This is a 404 page on the Washington Post. That means you typed in the URL wrong. It's a broken link. And it takes you to this. We're unable to locate your page at the bottom. This page does not exist, kind of like a clean cold. That is incredible. That is really clever. Um, Star Trek always wins. Evan Sutton is wrong. Star Trek is better than Star Wars. See the differences here. My friend was tweeting mean things to me about how Star Wars was better than Star Trek. He is wrong. So one night I decided I was going to run ads against him. I targeted his coworkers and our mutual friends. And when he walked into work the next day, his coworker looked up at him and said, "Why is there an ad about you on Facebook?" Well, he was surprised, started laughing, and then created an ad that he ran against me. And we had our own little war for a week. It cost me $16 to have this fun thing with my friend. If I can do this and target my friends, you can target a company you're trying to organize, or a company that's not negotiating in good faith. You can target a politician who you want to move on a certain action, and you can do it for really cheap if you get the targeting right. Just the other day, a friend did the same thing to me. I opened up Facebook and I saw that there was a fan page about me. People were running it. They put Star Wars in instead of Star Trek, which made me very angry, and I tweeted angry things. But go so fast at the end that we've gone a little over. Okay. So, any questions? Raise your hand if you have a question. So they got a lot of great information. I am glad that you got a lot of great information. I hope it wasn't too much. You can do this all yourself, which I hope is the takeaway. Ads.facebook.com, ads.google.com, ads.twitter.com. You can do them all yourself. Go in and play. Spend $5 of your own just for the first time to see how it works. It's really simple. Any other questions? You can raise your hand. Was this okay for you? Oh, somebody's raising their hand. I don't know how to do this. Lance. Okay.
Go ahead, Lance, answer your question. Lance, can you go ahead and ask your question if I muted you? Another thing you can do is use your notes at the top of the screen. Click on that and just shoot us a note. We can answer that way as well.
So there was a question earlier about Facebook. Does the 90-character limit include the title/website or just the right-hand text? It's just the text on the side. You also have the title, and you also have the link to the website. Any questions? Promote page. So you can promote your page. So I just got a question. Do you recommend Facebook promote a page? If you're looking at the page that you manage, whether it's your union, your affiliate, or some sort of page that you manage, in the top left it says like promote page. I've never actually clicked on that because you can do that through the ads manager, which does allow you all the targeting options. My guess is that would be the same as when it says like promote this post, where it gives you limited targeting options. So if you just go to ads.twitter.com, it will allow you to promote your page and target it in whatever way that you want. And there are some really great targeting options, some really cool things that you can do to make sure that just the people that you want see your page. Or you can segment out the messaging. Like for the AFT, if I wanted to promote the page right now, I could promote the page to people who care about public education. Be like, AFT fights for public education. I could run a different ad to people who like using it as like our page, right? You can separate them out and run sort of different things. What is a good click-through rate on a Google ad? That really depends a lot. It depends on whether or not it's a search ad versus a display ad. A click-through rate above 1% on a search ad, definitely above 2%, is really incredible. I was really happy with the click-through rate for my mom's film I had showed you earlier. I found that the click-through rate is lower on political types of content. So if you have a click-through rate of 0.06 on a display ad, I feel like I've done a good job. But for me, I'm less concerned about the click-through rate as I am about the acquisitions. So I want to know how much I'm paying for the conversions to my email list, which for me is a much more important metric. Any other questions? Oh, you guys are so silent.
Well, we really appreciate everybody joining the training today. And as Asher mentioned earlier, this was recorded, so we'll have this available for you. We'll also send out we'll send out a survey with a link to the video and everything. So thanks so much, we'll continue to have trainings, and we're just really glad you guys took the time to join us today. It's really important stuff, so it's great. And thank you for sending us positive feedback. Asher did an awesome job.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.